Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another amazing, another sweet episode of your My One Stop podcast. This right here is Afrojono podcast, where we bring you stories that are impacting lives, where we bring you issues that are affecting our everyday lives and dissecting them. And of course, we'll bring you people doing amazing works right here in the diaspora. Before I continue, I always say this, and I will continue to plead with you. Please, if you've not subscribed to our channel as yet, please subscribe to our channel, like, share. That's how we get great feedbacks. That's how we know we're doing amazing works. Thank you very much. Our guest on this episode, ladies and gentlemen, have you met Lifestyle, Glitz, Glamour, Groove in person? We have all of this in one body seated right next to us. Ladies and gentlemen, someone who loves to enjoy himself, make money, have fun, and still work very hard. I call him the life of the party. I don't know what you call him, but I'm sure after this, you will give him a name. His name is Olumuyiwa Soyombo, but he's popularly known as 1805.
Okay, bó ṣe dára ọjọ́ kejì nìyẹn wọn ló yambos cruise ó ṣe mo sáré fún wọn ṣòkòtò péńpé ìṣe níkà mo lè fi bò tẹ́lẹ̀ kò pẹ́ àti tò àwọn boys bá ní wá bọ̀bọ̀ jẹ́ ká ṣe wrist check mo ní ẹ ó yá kò sọ̀rọ̀ mo ṣáà bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Sean ó ṣe ó fún wa Rolex Day Just and a Jubilee bracelet bẹ́ẹ̀ ta tún lọ lára bíi ti lè wé ó ṣe mo náà nìyẹn aláṣẹ sọ àkàsà.
I mean, after all that, that biography, I don't even know how to feel, but thank you very much. Thank you so much.
How far, Baba?
I do, my brother, I do.
Lovely content you have on your social media space, bro.
Thank you.
Lovely content.
We did try.
We are so fascinated right here at Afrojono Studios because we love your works.
Thank you.
We don't take the works for granted because it takes a lot to be in the media space. And especially when you're doing contents that resonate with people, contents that help them kill their stress, that makes them laugh, that makes them look forward to becoming someone like you. It is so great. It takes a lot of hard work, so well done.
Thank you.
Well done for that. So we're going to start. We're going to talk mostly about lifestyle. Then we know you're also an artist manager. So we'll talk about the music industry.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because prior to my director saying start, I had a conversation with you and I learned a whole lot. But we're going to talk about some of them. But first, let me start like this. I wanted this to be my second question, but I'll make it the first one. I'm so curious to know, I mean, because obviously that's not your birth date. 1805 is not your birth date. It is. It is. Sure? I will not be sitting with you though.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Bro,
let's see how that goes.
I will not be sitting with you though.
Let's see how that goes.
So, what brought about the brand? It's an amazing, catchy, 4 digits.
Yeah.
But what brought about 1805?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. 1805 is actually my birthday. And I'm serious. I'm not even, 1805 is 18 May. That's just
really?
It's not the year, it's the day and the month.
It's not the year.
Yeah. But it is my birthday, yeah. So 1805 was just coined for my birthday. My birthday is May 18th, yeah. So basically that's how it happened. And while trying to pick that name, I had like nicknames back then, when you're growing up, secondary school, people just throw nicknames at you. I had one that I liked it. I didn't see, as at then, it was good for my profile.
What's the name?
I'll try not to say it here. I don't know.
It was a little nasty.
It starts with a P, ends with an O. It had like 2 digits at the end of it.
So filling the gap, guys.
6-9 at the end of it. So yeah, it was good for, then.
Okay.
But at the point where I felt, I want to go public. I'm trying to create like a brand, I'm in the fashion brand. At that point, I knew that wouldn't work. And I thought about it. And then, I had a couple of friends back then who would just call me Alpha 18. They would just say 18. Okay. How they decide? I'm like, okay, 1805 wouldn't be. Yeah. So it just came like that. So 1805 and yeah.
And when was this exactly? When at what year did this come up?
This happened like I think way back would have been around 2013, 14, yeah. About 2014 thereabout. That was when because I remember in 2012, 13, I was doing something else and I still used to go by the other nickname. Okay. So what I was doing there was centered around media too. Like we were having a side conversation when I was on radio. So when they're trying to introduce me and then I'm trying to pick like a radio name, like, you want to have a fancy name that people
vibe,
can
right.
resonate with, right? So I look at everybody around. Calling me Muiwa doesn't just, I mean, maybe fortunately, unfortunately for me, my parents didn't give me a name that would sound funky when you kind of abbreviate it. You know, people have names that
sure.
you find Osa something, calling
Sure.
Osas or Osa. You know, there are cool names like
Sure.
that I can shorten and then make sense out of it. But
Sure,
mine,
sure.
I'm like, the most you can shorten this will be Mui. And I'm sorry, I don't like Mui. So I'm trying to introduce myself as a radios and hi, I'm Mui. And so I had to go by Muiwa.
Okay.
Because my nickname, though cool, was not radio appropriate.
Oh, yeah,
So I couldn't
yeah.
call it out and
Because-
say, I'm this on your radio. Like, what? You know, so that was just it. So at the end of it, I had to transition to 1805, and then it was pretty cool and decent.
And it's stuck, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
stuck.
stuck
Everybody
right away.
started-
Yeah, though I still have some really stubborn friends that would just always
Call
call
you
me
the-
that. Alpha, say, we don't know that 1805. This one we know. Alpha, they will not be telling people, name be this, so this one way they do 1805, no behind that. Like, yeah, come on. But I mean,
So,
that's what it is.
so we would start the journey gradually.
Okay.
Then we would stop by. We might take the first turning by the right, the first turning by the
By
left.
the left.
Now, when you created 1805,
Yeah.
you knew you wanted to go into branding,
Yeah.
artist management, or content creation.
Okay, so in that order, I would say
Okay.
content creation, to be honest, was not even part of it.
Okay.
Which now I still struggle. Just before coming here, my friend was asking me, "Oh, you're going for a podcast? What's it about? What are they going to talk about?" I'm like, "No, I don't know. From the most I know, I think they're going to focus more on the artist management." But it was like, why not content creation? I'm like, I'm not a content creator. I'm sorry. That's how I see it.
You don't like that
'Cause-
name. Be honest. No, be honest. It's
No,
you don't like
I'm
that name.
indifferent about it, but I would rather not be addressed as a content. To be honest, I don't want people to see me and say, "Oh, he's a content creator," which happens now because when people see me outside, they're like, another guy, that vlogger. Oh, you do content? No, I think I'm a lot more things than being a content creator. That's how I see it. And then maybe mostly because the content creation is like a new thing. That just started that I didn't even plan for it. Let me put it that way. The first vlog I dropped was just me having fun making videos, and at the end of the day, I'm like, instead of doing a reel where I put music under it, I'll just voice over it. That was it. And I'll do it in Yoruba. So I didn't do it with the intention of saying, "Oh, I want to start content creation." So I did the first one, and then people and they started wanting more, and then I had to keep up the momentum.
They
So
started creating more content.
yeah, and then I start being more intentional about it. So even now I still struggle with it because a lot of times I go out, I just want to have fun. I don't want to bring up my phone and I'm making videos. Some people don't even want to be anywhere around your videos, so I'm quite cautious, which is the same way I feel. Sometimes I'm in some spaces and I don't want people pointing cameras around me. So now I have to be more intentional. Rather than having fun, I'm thinking, "Oh, what are the interesting moments I can capture?" Which is not what I'm really there to do. I'm really just there to have fun, But hey, it is what it is. But now I'm beginning to look into and now that content creation is now a thing, right?
Yeah.
Then fine. I'm
money
looking
in it.
exactly.
There's
So
money in
and
it.
I'm like, okay, let me start thinking about to monetize, which I have not done. None of my social media pages are monetized. I'm trying. I need the experts to put me through.
We got them.
And then-
Yes, sir. We
exactly.
got them here.
So 1805 was created solely as I won't say solely, but originally as a fashion
Okay.
and lifestyle events curation brand.
Okay.
Right, which was what I did for the most time until I added content creation to that. So fashion brand, it's a casual urban fashion brand. Do the normal casual urban wear, t-shirts, sweatpants, and all of that. But the niche market is hats, right? Which is what I started with, and that's been like the biggest part of the brand. So people would 1805, he does hats. That's like what the brand is known for. I've done a couple of other apparels along the line, done t-shirts, done sweatpants, but things were not coming out the way I wanted it, so I kind of put a pause into it, which of course I'm getting back into as I'm looking to scale the business, very soon. So it's always been that's always been been looking to scale the business, but I'm taking it as organically and as gradually as I can. So it's going to eventually turn into a full-fledged fashion brand to produce any fashion item or fashion pieces you can think of. And then the lifestyle events curation part has always been a part of me. I'm a pretty much, somewhat a social person. Let me put it that way. I don't like to feel I'm the one that knows how to have the most fun. But yeah, I do have good fun when I have to. I'm always looking out to have a good time. And then when I'm gathered around people, my friends will typically tease me as Baba Meto. Sorry for the Yoruba, but Baba Meto is like organizer. He likes to put everything in place. So up until if I'm having a little get together in my house or a little barbecue or sit out, like I want people to have the most amazing and memorable time. I want to provide everything you need. If I know, this guy drinks champagne, I must make sure I have champagne on the menu. He drinks whiskey, I must have whiskey. So, I'm that kind of guy that wants to look out, what do we have on the menu? This guy probably not like this. I'm thinking of everybody, trying to make sure you are just all having a good time. That's what gives me joy, right? So I'm like, so with that, I organize events, which, like I said, has been a part of me from the get-go. Secondary school, I'm in Literary and Debating Society. Uni days, we're organizing parties. I was a club chief at some point in uni. So, I've always liked organizing parties and all that and having a good time. So gradually, eventually, when I started the 1805 brand too, I started creating lifestyle events back in Nigeria, in Lagos. There's an event called Funky Brunch Lagos. I don't know if partnership with some of my friends who put me on it. If Tommy, Nimi Briggs, shout out to them, great guys. They have that lifestyle thing on lockdown, right? So I joined them at some point and was able to gain more exposure into the nightlife and then event curation. So after that, I organized a couple. I do, pop-up events, I'll put it that way. At some point, I was doing something at Danforth Bristol on Alexander. It was called Terrific Thursdays. I partnered with a couple of clubs in Lagos, the Gaia. We do I'm hosting a night there. So I've always been centered around that space. Let me not bore you with all of that. So so the events part. And then up until recently, like I said, the content creation part of it. Yeah. Great. So that's gradually evolving too.
Let's talk about lifestyle first. Okay. Then we'll talk a little bit about the brand 1805. Then we're going to have the artist, discussion. Now for lifestyle, exactly. First up, I'm going to start like this. What is your definition of luxury? Hold on, let me demystify. And this is coming from a standpoint of always been a life of the party and all of those, which I'm sure at some point my producer will show some of those clips on this podcast for people to exactly know what we're talking about.
Don't cast me.
It's on your page though. We're just amplifying what is on your page though. It's on your page though. What is lifestyle to you? Is lifestyle? Sorry, I beg your pardon. What is luxury to you? Yeah, is luxury the name of the brand? Is luxury the country where the brand originates from? Or is luxury how expensive the brand is? What is luxury to you?
Okay, so luxury, I would say, is not one thing. I don't think I have a dictionary definition, but like you said to me, luxury is it encompasses those things that you've mentioned: price, location, the material or quality of whatever product. So luxury is like a lot of things put together that I know is not cheap. Not inferior. Which and the reason why I'm using these words is because in our own community, I would say the Nigerian or African, I don't know, we've kind of watered down that word luxury so much that everything, as long as it's expensive, you feel that's luxury. And for me, it's not. Luxury will always be expensive, but it will not only be expensive. Exactly. So, and I mean, in our space, like I said, people will tag items that they just put a price on it without any basis and call it luxury. So I can say my hat is luxury and I just put a price to it. Oh, it's $1,000 per piece, and that. Nah, I've never used, and I refrain so much from tagging my pieces as luxury because they are not. I would put it out like that. The fact that it's not luxury doesn't mean it's not good, right? So we have to get that clear first. But I will not call it luxury because in my own definition of luxury, it is not there yet. It might get there at the end of the day if that's the target of my brand, right? It might get there. I might begin to produce luxurious brands, right? Or I keep it as, basic essential brands, which is what I think we need to learn when we're classifying luxury. If we look at the brands that are luxury in the sense of it. They're expensive, probably almost limited. Maybe
You're wearing one, by the way. Continue. Continue. You're wearing one, by the way. Continue.
So
I'm with you.
either by that limitation is either by a choice or just by your demand is higher than your supply, or the brand has just decided to make it limited, right? Those are the things. And then the location where it is produced, the materials that are used, the craftsmanship, which you cannot take out of luxury items. Craftsmanship is like a big deal, right? And so all those things put together is what makes an item or a brand luxurious. Right. But which in most cases, like I said, where we come from, if you have only 2 of those things, you already feel, oh, I'm a luxurious brand. Maybe, oh yeah, I source my products from Italy, or my raw materials from Italy, right? And then your craftsmanship, it takes you maybe 10, 15 minutes to put together. Nah, there has to be sweat and blood to make it luxurious.
Do we and I'm sure at some point most of us are guilty about this, right? Do we have luxury? Will you say, because I mean you talk about this a lot. I mean, you also own your own apparels and all of those. Do we have luxury brands in Nigeria?
Made out of Nigeria.
Yes. And why don't we even patronize? Why do we? I'm sure you know where I'm going to, right? Like, if we see us wearing something made in Nigeria, even if it is expensive, I beg your pardon, we don't value it as much as wearing something that is not as expensive as what that person from Nigeria is wearing, but because that comes from maybe France or something, or comes from some part of Europe or something, we say that, or more, that is luxury.
Luxury.
First question is, do we have luxury brands in Nigeria?
I'm going to be very careful about my response on this particular one, because no disrespect to any brand, I don't know all the Nigerian brands, and then there are 2 different types. If you see brands in Nigeria, there are brands owned by Nigerian, that are luxurious brands. They probably they necessarily are not domiciled in Nigeria, right? But they're owned by Nigerians all over the world, right? Like I have a cousin who, by the way, is late now, may so rest in peace, Abiola. He owned a brand then called Billy Boys clothing, right? It was based out in the UK, giving birth to in Nigeria, but there's someone that, giving birth to in the UK, did a secondary school and all that in Nigeria, back to the UK. So, but then he started the brand, right? And this is someone that went to London Fashion School, interned with Vivienne Westwood, with some top brands, right? And then he branched out to start producing his own brand, right? Owned by a Nigerian. And in this first year of launch, he had all the top UK artists, Miss Dynamite, Tiny Temper, all these guys were already rocking his brand, right? And he was on the main shows in London Fashion Week, right? So that's a Nigerian brand, owned by a Nigerian, and a luxurious brand, as far as I know of, right? But in these days, you find a lot of brands in Nigeria that are quick to attach luxury to them, maybe just because they feel, I don't even know what makes them feel it's luxury. Maybe because they feel that's what will attract people to it. So they just use that word. They just throw that word at anything. They create a T-shirt, or you buy a T-shirt in China, you print on it, and you come, because the print looks good, no doubt. Then you come and say, luxury T-shirt selling for 150,000, 200,000. That doesn't make it luxury. I'm not going to mention names, but I know a couple. Okay, so I know some guy is called TJ Who. TJ Who, too, shout out to him. Great guy, doing great stuff out of Nigeria. It designs and everything. I think production is Nigeria. I'm sure he probably imports his raw materials, which most brands do, right? But then he's doing great stuff in his alignment in the fashion space. If you go on his social media, you see him in the biggest fashion shows, he's in the biggest exhibitions, channeling himself. And he doesn't even call his brand luxury. He doesn't have luxury anywhere on his social media, on the internet. But when you see his pieces, when you feel those pieces, I'm opportune to own one of his pieces. They're not cheap. So all those things put together, and like I said, his alignment in the global fashion space, you can see is tilting towards that path. So maybe eventually it will come out to be a luxury brand. And then you find out that most of the luxury brands, right, they don't even put that luxury in there. It's people that will say, this is luxury. True. Louis Vuitton is not going to come out and advertise, we have luxury. No.
100. Word.
It is their brand. They know what it is, right? So they're not quick to throw that word out there and say, you know that it's luxury. When you get there, you will know.
You will know that's
right?
luxury. Yeah.
So, but in the Nigerian fashion space, there are a lot of overpriced brands, right? Overpriced, to be honest. I know it's not, because I own one too, so I know what it is. I know it's not cheap to, run a successful business out of Nigeria because of the economic situation. The production first is like a no go. You probably anything that is going to be really, really solid, especially if it's an urban product. With our indigenous style of fashion, they're good with that. So a good tailor can make you a really good traditional attire, looking neat, they're good with that. But when they're working with fabrics that they're not really used to, like you're working with fabrics that has a lot of spandex in it, that would stretch, we don't have that expertise here, that craftsmanship to make it come out right. So you find a lot of brands producing from, we don't have the expertise, we don't have the manpower, we don't have a lot of resources that will make you get it right. So you find it cheaper producing from outside the country and then bringing it back here, putting your markup or whatever you need to do, and then selling it. The only thing that is Nigerian African about it is the creativity behind it, because we'll do the sketches, do the whatever and all of that, send it out there, or maybe get your materials from out there, get it done into bulk, bring it in and sell, right? Which is good. But then a lot of Nigerians have now taken advantage of that bad economic situation. They've capitalized on it, and they'll tell you, oh, is FX rate, oh, is customs duty. Yes, those things are in place. I'm not even going to lie to you. They make prices very unstable, and every day and then, like I said, because some of these brands already feel, once I price it expensive, then it's luxury. People will respect the brand and say, it's luxury. I'm not going to mention names, but there are quite a number of them out there. Okay. And I really don't want to drag this too long, but then I was having this conversation with someone a couple of days ago, and I'm like, it's only peculiar. There are brands in Nigeria that will only survive in the Nigerian market. Take them out of that Nigerian market, and 2 weeks they're dead. And believe me, it's that easy. And let me tell you why. You create a brand, you're making nice t-shirts, no doubt, good quality, good prints, but you're selling it at maybe 400,000, 500,000 naira per piece in Nigeria. That's if you're even still quoting in naira. Most of them will quote. If you go to their website now, most of them quote in dollars, right? Yeah, true. Maybe in a bracket they'll put the naira equivalent, which will change based on exchange rate. Fair enough. But then if I'm looking at it, 500,000 t-shirt, I can buy it once. Okay, I know. Let me even see and I buy it, and I'm like, it's not there.
It's not even.
It looks good, but by the time I'm all the inside, I'm seeing some, and I'm like, it's not there yet. It's not really worth this price. But then you find people buying it, and there's a particular market. Let me put it that way. I'm not going to. So maybe one of them that owns the brand, and he knows, my guys can buy. So he goes, me too. I've launched a clothing line. I'm now selling this t-shirt, and you say, let me even check this guy's t-shirt. Oh, it looks nice. And you see, this is not for my market. Though. But then,
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I wasn't supposed to. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Something came to mind. Is it because it is? The reason it is overpriced, is it because it has a low quality? That's why it is overpriced.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, so something being overpriced too can be relative, right?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, but of course, if I buy something for 500,000 naira, if I look at it, I already have an expectation. I don't want to see any error. I don't want to see one thread hanging out. That quality control, everything must be 100. Yeah. I don't want to see maybe they forgot to put a button here. No, which is what differentiates the luxurious brands. They do. It's a process, and they follow the entire process through. And like I said, I'm a proponent of whatever you want to do, try to learn at least the basics. So you find a lot of Nigerians in that fashion space. No formal fashion school background. No, I'm not. Of course, there are a lot of. No, I'm not trying to downplay anybody. There are a lot of Nigerians that would go through that process, go to fashion school or go to a tailoring school or whatever to learn, whatever it is they're doing. But some now in recent times, you just find them because, I like fashion. I know I'm a stylish person. I can create my own brand too, which is good. You can start from. But along the line, are you trying to develop yourself to match with that thing you're trying to build? So that aside, let me not, deviate too much. So what I was driving at before is you will find a lot of all these brands creating their things for their own sector because they know, my guys are rich. If I sell t-shirt for 500, at least in my head, I can count 50 guys that will buy it.
Instantly.
Sure, no story, So they go ahead and then you see these guys wearing it, and because they're out there, they're on social media, they're everywhere, so they're wearing it. So people begin, and Nigerians, we're like this. There's a bit of herd mentality. Now waiting, then they wait and be this, you follow, and then you follow. This person, especially people that like to idolize, some guys in that space. Now waiting, this person they wear now. Myself, I guys wear out, and then they don't care whether it's this quality or my idolo or like whoever they say is wearing it. Me too, I guys go wear them. So these guys too feel, my brand is doing well because my people are buying it. But take that brand out of Nigeria into the global fashion space.
You won't see the light of day.
If one or two people buy it, and the way these guys are like the white guys or whatnot, once they they can give it a try, right? But after that, nah, I'm never going back to this. They probably go on your page, drop a bad review, shit. Before you know it, you're done for. You will not have a choice than to go back to the drawing board and get it right before you can come out and sell at that price. Nobody's telling you don't sell at this price. That's the thing. You can launch a t-shirt or a hat and sell it. Nobody's saying don't sell at that price. But is it worth it? Everything you've put into it, is it worth that price? So
why don't Africans patronize the products that are made in Africa? Now, let me be more scrupulous right now. Nigeria, all right. Why don't we? At some point, to be very honest with you, I might be, I might have faltered in some ways. Why we prefer, because we know the African fabric, the Nigerian fabric is ours. So it's easy for us to buy and patronize. But anything outside the confines of the Nigerian fabric, we rather buy it from outside. We don't want to patronize homemade apparels. Is it because of the low quality?
So it takes me back to what I said earlier, because the economic factors that we have currently in Nigeria, does not give us that avenue to produce these things to meet international standards locally. So you will find, so let me speak about my brand. I own a brand. I produce hats. I sell hats. I've been doing this for close to 10 years. The brand has been in existence. Launched in 2015. So 10 years. Fully into market. So like I said, I'm still taking my time to grow. I'm not rushing into it because personal funds and everything, investors, not now. I don't think I'm ready for it. I don't think I have, all that side story. But then you will find out that in Nigeria, I've not found any. I tried at some point to start a production line in Nigeria. Like, let me start producing this thing. I don't produce in Nigeria. And I have my reasons. It's not because I'm anti-Nigeria or whatnot. I'm a full-blown Nigerian, But you cannot get this quality. There's no company anywhere in Nigeria. And I'm saying it from, as far as I know. Maybe now if there's anyone out there, let me know, that would produce an art to you from scratch. When I say from scratch, so my arts are the different thing about my brand. There are a couple of brands out there that produce arts. My arts are customizable. We don't do individual customization, but we do for small businesses. We have an MOQ. So if a brand comes to me, I want this cap, I want this place to be black, and this one should be orange, this one blue, this one yellow, I can make it happen for you. I want my logo here, I want this, I can make it happen. Right. The hats are sewn from scratch. They are picking the mesh, they are cutting it. The cotton, they are cutting it. I want this color. It's sewn from scratch. I'm not buying bulk hats and putting a logo on it. No. I do my designs, I do my sketching. I have a manufacturer, a warehouse out there where I produce. Great. And then I do my sketches, do everything, do the graphic work, and then send to my guys back there. Okay, this is what I want. We'll go over it together, produce, run samples, looks good, doesn't look good, run it again till we get it right. That's how it works. And that is because I would be glad to save myself that hassle of doing international trips and communications just because I'm trying to get something right. If I had a factory in Nigeria that will give me a vast range of materials. If I say I want one color that is out of the blues today, it is available. How many pieces or how many yards of that color do you want to make 5,000 pieces of art. We have it. Let's get into the factory and get it done. We don't have that in Nigeria. Up until embroidery machines that will give you good and clean embroidery, we do not have it. There are a couple in Nigeria, the couple companies that do embroidery and all that, but it is more difficult to make a good embroidery on an existing cap than make the embroidery while this portion of the hat is still laid down as a plain fabric, and you put it in and you do your embroidery. It comes out neater than if the hat is molded already and you're trying to place that part in the machine to get it. You know, so there yeah, so we don't have that. At some point I wanted to do it, like I said. I looked at myself personally. I looked at the funds that I needed to make it happen. I'd gone out there to do my inquiry, get my pricing, quoting, and everything, what it's going to cost me to establish a production factory in Nigeria. And I don't have these funds, right? I kind of scare away from personal investors. When I say personal, not now that the era of venture capitalism and all that has come into play. I'm talking about my guy, Alpha. Give me $50,000. Let's do it. I rather want to do it myself. Let me start first. If I crash, I crash. No, let me have sleepless nights because I'm owing somebody $50,000 that I'm not able to pay on. So I went to the Bank of Industry in Nigeria. Like, guys, okay, I own this brand, my paperwork, registered company, yada, yada, yada. But I need a facility. Government facility will definitely come at a better rate. I'm not going to walk into a commercial bank to try to get a facility that will kill me, you know. So I'm Bank of Industry, you give low interest rates, right, or whatnot. And then by the time I got a list of requirements that I needed to qualify,
let's have it
for a loan that will make me establish a manufacturing business. I mean, of course, they have a caveat. They don't give out 5 million, 10 million. They give out good money, the type that I needed at that time. But then it comes with requirements. And I'm like, oh my God, if the requirements were 15, I could not even make one. The least one on the list, I could not even make it. It's a different thing if I was able to make 10 and I say, there's 5 more. Let me speak to people that have connects that can make this happen. No, I looked at that list and I'm like, come on, man. It's not for someone like me. You people know the people you have designed this thing for. Of course, it's not for someone, it's not for a young entrepreneur. So at that point I knew, okay, this is not going to happen now. Let me continue doing it the way I'm doing it. Maybe in the later future, if it's going to happen, then I could come to. So that's that. We don't have that facility or the resources I would say we have the manpower, which we might not necessarily have, but we can get there, which is one of the core things. So I know a lot of friends that own brands in Nigeria, and I know one of the biggest challenges is still manpower. Even the guys that make our local attires, the natives and all that, today one tailor is running away. Today one person is not there. Tomorrow, there are a lot of all those things. This night I've spent 500,000 on diesel. Next week I'm spending, this, so all those things are there. And those are big things when it comes to in the fashion space. To run a successful the females, they have a lot of ready-to-wear brands, right? Shout out to them. They're trying because it is crazy. It is mind-boggling when you're dealing with artisans that are not really there, but you have to bring them up to speed, and then which is what the guys that are the biggest guys in the manufacturing, I don't want to call them, I'm trying to promote any country.
I get you 100%. 100%.
We know them. Yeah, they have these things. They have the manpower. They have that technical skill. They're not, the typical, okay, this guy is a tailor, but that tailoring has probably been doing this that's probably what he studied in school. He went to a technical college and studied tailoring. So they are there and that's their job. But in Nigeria, it's different. We find out that the guys that are doing these jobs, who are amazing at it, they are the guys at the bottom level in that wage and salary and all that band. So they're not imagine if I was a tailor, I think I would do a better job than, no, I'm not trying to downplay anybody, but of course, you find out that you have to do a lot of work to bring these guys up to speed. Eventually, when you bring them up to speed, they're not there anymore. So there are all these factors that limit brands, locally produced brands, to deliver
the good quality that measures up to the standard of the international market.
So that's why people would rather. So if you're producing a traditional attire for me, yes, it's easy. But if I'm buying a t-shirt, by the time I buy it and the sewing on the neck, I've bought a couple. If like I said, I'm pro Nigeria. I'm full-blooded Nigerian, right? So if I just know my brand, because I own a brand too. So, but trust me, I've had a conversation with one of my friends who has a good brand doing very well in Nigeria. I told him, guy, why you never they make your shoes outside Nigeria? Say, Baba, your brand is already there, but your shoes are good, but what you are getting from Nigeria, I know why the shoes are like this. Bro, start producing. This brand, the core of this brand is rooted in Nigerian brand. He was one of the guys that started the Nigerian brand thing. So it was like, he doesn't want to lose that authenticity that made in Nigeria. And I'm like, by the end of the day, your brand now is getting international presence, global presence. You're opening stores outside the world. So you're not going to give them that Nigerian quality shoemaking that we will see gums hanging out, we will see, and you expect the white guy to buy it because it's a Nigerian brand.
They wouldn't be able to resonate
even
with
at
it.
some point in Nigeria, some of us no go wear them because, now my guy, I want to patronize you, but it's not up to the quality of what I wear. So eventually he started doing it. He still kept it and producing in Nigeria just to keep that, like I said, the core of his business. But at the end of the day, to get what he wanted, he needed to take his production out of Nigeria, and he's still doing good. Yeah.
Oh wow! Now you are. Listen, I consume your content a lot because each time I am pretty much down from reading or trying to assimilate a whole lot. I just want something that will revitalize me, that will reinvigorate me, that will recalibrate me. And I watch it, I'm like, oh yes, and I laugh. I hear Yoruba a lot, I'm like, yeah. You are well traveled. Now, I was having a chit chat with my producer and was like, we need to ask him this question. This is a great question, by the way.
Okay.
You wake up one morning and to translate some of the things you say in Yoruba in English, my friends just call me. They say, come on, man, let's turn up in Portugal. And I'm like, what am I doing right now? I take a first flight. I'm off to Portugal. What are they bringing me? This ain't food that I want to eat. Give me something, Then the next thing we're seeing you here. First, do you guys really plan this trip? Or they just pick up their phone and be like, 1805, it's time to go to Portugal. Man, I'm down for it, man. Let's go to Portugal. Walk us through that process first. We want to know.
Trust me, it's 95% of the time spontaneous, I would say.
Really?
Because we're guys, right? So I don't think guys typically plan trips the way females do.
Okay.
Females will want to go on a trip in 6 months and they already have a group chat and they're talking about what are we going to wear, where are we going to visit, where are the historical moments. I mean, no shades, and I'm sorry, I love my ladies, but don't come for me. Well, you all know that's how it is, right? But guys,
in a WhatsApp group.
Maybe 3 out of 10 will make it out of it.
3 out of 10 will make it out.
I mean, we see it happen all the time. They say, but for me, my own case is mostly spontaneous. And I'll count, earlier this year, I was in Vegas, right after I got back from Lagos. Okay. So after I was in Nigeria for December and all of that.
Dirty December, though.
Dirty
December, yeah. Dirty December. What's dirty?
Yeah, pretty much, I'd say. So, and I did, after that trip, I'm like, I'm not going on any trip again till maybe like March or April. Say, make I rest, and then my friend calls me up. Like, Alpha, we do. I just come back, just try to recoup from Lagos, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I love Vegas, 23rd. And that was January. I got back from Lagos January something. So that was like in 2 weeks, right?
Wow.
I know that I didn't love Vegas. Why you just they tell me, say, Papa, say this Vegas now, our own normal. Waka, say January like that, they always go, because one of my friends, a mutual friend, he has like business out there, so January is like a time he goes every year to, get things sorted for the year and all. So it was like, say this person always goes in January, so we just always make it a trip. And I'm like, Alpha, Baba, you down? Like, as long as it's a trip, man, I'm always down. Oh yeah, let's see what it's gonna take. I look, okay, tickets looking good, this looking good. I say, as long as some things check, I like, okay, ticket, no, it won't break my back, bam. Accommodation, it won't break. I'm good. I'm there. That's how it works for me. So most of the times, so the Portugal one, it was kind of planned, but it was a friend's birthday, actually, right? And that particular friend is the most last minute person that I know. So we all knew, his birthday is this year, right? It was last year. So we knew it was gonna have a trip. But everybody, guy, Alpha, give us details. What are we doing? Where is this happening? My guy didn't even know until a month. He didn't know where it was going.
So you didn't even know you were going?
No, everybody knew it was going to happen. But because we know this particular person, you are last minute. Even up onto things that is your own, you are last minute. So, but we all just knew, it was going to happen. But we didn't have a specific location. We didn't have a specific, this is where we're going to stay. We're not trying to plan around it with this budget. But we knew, it's going to be his ID's party. We're all going to go at the end of the day. And then maybe like a month to that time, okay, guys, I've decided to now, here we go. Can they go, oh my, they tell us now. But hey, we'll pull up anyways. And that was it. So a lot of times I find myself on, how far, bro? You know, they go say, you day, I day. As long as it's a good time, I'm down for it.
Does 18, now I'm pretty much fascinated though. Does 1805 have a special savings account for the trips? Like you just open and be like, this one is for the trips. So you just keep pumping money into it and be like, for the trip. Because listen, if we monetize all of these trips that you attend, it's huge though.
Please don't let my
because no, it's on your social media. It's on your space, bro.
No, I don't know. They might just be thinking it's normal, but
because let me take one of your trip as a case study, right? You go on a yacht. Yeah. Go on a yacht. You guys don't drink things that are. You guys drink luxury. Like I know you drink luxury alcohol drinks, alcoholic drinks. You do that. There were at some point you guys were having like a party of wristwatches, right? You were like, and I saw Rolex rolling around. I'm like, what's going on the yacht,
like
right?
That Rolex rolling around.
I'm like, what's going on the yacht, right? Then you guys stay in expensive hotels. You don't fly economy class. It's always first class. I've not seen you flown in first class before, bro. It's always an economic. Sorry, I beg your pardon. I've not seen you flown an economic class. It's always a first class. Maybe once a business class. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Business, right? Yeah, not even economy, right? So I'm sure you know what that. What do you have an account? It's not funny, bro. Do you have an account for that?
Because I don't know how to answer that question. So the thing is, I try to be very smart with my finances. Okay. I don't make the most amount of money. Like I have a lot of friends that are way, financially richer than me, I would say. Mm-hmm. But I just have right off the top of my head, first thing I know is I like to have a good time. That is standard. So whatever is going to cost me to have a good time, I will do it without, inconveniencing or any other person or other things that are priority, right? Because of course we all have, got a family, you got this to do, got this to run. So I'm not going all out, boom, because it's 5G, I must just know. I'll still try to keep it decent, but which is why I would work extra to make that extra money to be able to afford that lifestyle. So for me, I'm not a proponent. I see a lot, to each their own, right? I see a lot of people trying to say, I'm curtailing my lifestyle to meet my income.
Okay.
Right? Like, this is my income band, so I'm going to cut out my lifestyle to be able to fit into that income. That's not my ideology. My ideology is, this is my lifestyle. I'm going to expand my income to meet my lifestyle. That's how I think. So I'm not trying to bracket myself into, I'm making this figure in a year, so I can't afford this. No, I'm like, no, I want to make more so I can continue to afford this. So I'll keep thinking of ways, legitimate ways and, upright ways to do more to be able to afford the things that I love to have. So that's just it. So speaking to if I have a separate account for trips, no, I do not. Maybe I'm not that financially, kidding here. But of course, I have some savings that I know that might as bad. We can still pick from here and get this done and make it happen, right? And like I said, when those trips happen, right, it's in most cases a collaborative effort. Okay. And thankfully, like I have some friends who are in a better financial stance than I am. Okay. So even some of those will be like, no worry, now me go cover this one. Yeah, so it's not like every time I go out or everywhere I go or every particular event, I'm churning out money. I've gone on trips where all I needed to sort out was my transportation and accommodation, and I'm good. And maybe feeding. Of course, it doesn't mean I'm there to perch on people all the time. I have cases where I'll be like, no worry, now me go do this one. So it's like just understanding your circle and knowing everybody's capacity and then trying to carry everybody along. Some people have the financial capacity. Maybe they don't know how to have that much fun, or they just feel, this guy knows someplace, so they want you to be that guy. With they go here, it's not like they're gonna buy your tickets or do, or they know you're good enough to afford that, right? So, but they'll be like, I know where you come now. Go just buy your ticket, book your hotel, I go cover the rest, and then we'll make it happen. There are cases where I'll invite them, oh my guys, let's go to this place. No worry, I'll go do this one, I'll go do that one. And then it's a collaborative thing at the end of the day. In most cases, okay, we're going out, this is the spend. Okay, how much? We split it up. It's good. Everybody's all right. The most important thing I would say is being a good financial stance so that when those things come, you're able to jump on them. And then apart from having a good time, I'm big on networking. I'm big on, keeping close friends closer, right? And then all trying to progress together. A lot of my friends are business associates, my business associates. A lot of them, have been the ones thrive in my business. My business has a retail arm, and then I serve a couple of corporate clients, right? So most of my friends own businesses that patronize my business. I patronize their business, so it's like a mutual thing. So it's not like we're just all going out there to drink and marry and all of that. While we're there, I've gone on trips where, how far? It's no boy, Papa, now I don't find you since I want to do this, I want to do that right there and then. Oh yeah, now we've locked in, transaction. So it's all good. Or I meet someone new on the trip, a mutual friend, this is my guy, he does this, he does that, if you need this, So for me, I look at all those things on a larger scale rather than, we're just going to drink and have a good time. Yes, it's nice to have a good time, but at the end of the day, too, you just want to be in a good space with good people that are affecting you positively, and then you're, returning the favor.
Yeah, because what does not add to you must not take away from you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean.
Now, this is for my very wonderful producer, by the way, and my head of digital marketing, by the way. Your group of friends, do you guys have like 2 spots left? They are my guys. They are my guys. I feel like they're working so hard. They need your type of revitalizing. Just one trip on the yacht.
We have
just
spots.
One trip.
Have spots.
You do, right?
We have spots.
Mr. Producer, sir.
We have spots.
I'm sure it's locked down already.
The yacht is there.
It's there.
I have friends that own yachts. Some of the ones that are shown in that video are owned by my friends, so it's not like they have to pay for it. So I mean, buy your ticket, book your donation, join us. The more the merrier, right?
I'm sure my head of digital marketing, my producer, they're laughing, but don't worry, we're going to plan it. Summer is coming, so
somehow we got to be outside.
I mean, everything that
outside, everything that they do.
Oh, this is amazing, my goodness, because a lot of time when I say it, and this is, and I'm speaking from a paroxysm of honesty, from a standpoint of honesty, right? Yeah. Each time when I'm down, I go to your content.
Oh, really?
And yes, this is me being very veracious. I go to your content.
Yeah.
Very, very well. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm looking at the fine, I'm looking at the yacht, I'm looking at the wristwatches, I'm looking at the drinks, I'm looking at, okay, my wife is watching this, by the way.
I know, dude.
No, I'm just kidding. But it feels so good that you're having fun and enjoying the fun that you're having. Mm-hmm. Some just have it because they want to run away from, from stress. No, you are having it because it is already your bucket list to have fun.
Yeah, so it is
just to have fun.
It's somewhere in the top 5. Have fun. It's very important, And then, like I say, even when I'm creating or shooting these things, I don't want to come off as, this one is trying to show off, right? But it is what it is. I have friends that wear expensive stuff. Sometimes I wear expensive stuff. I wear whatever I feel like wearing, right? However it suits the occasion. I'm big on perception. I'm big on presentation. How you show up is the way you're perceived, is the way you're treated, and all that. I'm big on all of those things. So I try to and looking good doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. And then I'm saying this because a lot of people say luxury, like on the content that you said, the Portugal one where was wristwatches and all that. A lot of comments, this one, if you don't get Rolex, if you come this guy, I'm like, to be honest,
but was it planned? Was it planned?
Hell no.
It wasn't planned.
No. So
at least 5 of you guys wore Rolex on that day.
No, I mean, so
almost everybody.
like I keep telling people, the Rolexes and like thank God I have friends that are doing pretty well in whatever businesses they're doing. I saw one comment and then I like to interact with my comments and then just make fun, casual. And then someone was like, so nobody if you wear iWatch for this trip. And I'm like, no, we all own iWatches, but we had the snatch watches in Europe, so we're too scared to wear them, just jokingly. And then someone else said, all these ones, no, then Richard Mille no even did there. So then still they learn, can they come? And I'm looking at them, I'm like, so I think I replied to them, I'm like, if only these people could wear 2 watches or more than then
you
would
see
know.
that they have a lot of them in their collection.
These ones that they're wearing, and honestly, when we were talking about that trip, when I were like, I heard guys like, oh, now Europe would they go? Then they collect boys for Europe, all this one, then they make una know well. So it was like people coming in their list that okay,
if this one even come out,
exactly. So
that's
it
okay with me.
It wasn't planned.
Wow.
There were some people that didn't even show their faces because they could not even be seen. There was only one I said, LA, no face, no case, because he's not the type that wants to, and he was wearing an AP, which is like one of the least in his collection. So it's not even a thing of show off or someone is trying to. It's just normal. Yes, we like good things. We can afford it. We can go ahead and buy it, and that's just it. So everybody show up, and then and of course we're friends, right? If you wear something nice or you buy something, nice one, you don't buy, man. Oh yeah, now me to make I try and see if I feel afford them, And then next thing, next week, this guy laying on say Jack in it. Those are things that make us, you can wear anything you want to wear, and it's not like if you come to there because you have a Rolex, you can't be our friend. Hell no. Like some of these my friends have been wearing Rolexes way before I could ever afford my first Rolex, right? And I've been their friend. And it doesn't make me less of their friend if I show up in a garden. I don't know. It's not about that. Like I said, it is not about any of all these things that we wear. Yeah, we like to wear them and we like to show up. Nice. But it doesn't mean, if you don't own this or you cannot be in our circle. It's none of that. It's not it has nothing to do about all those things that and that video was probably one of the ones that I'm like, okay, let me just show this. Let me show lifestyle. I honestly just want to do content and just be goofy about it, and that's that. I'm not trying to.
We like the lifestyle.
I'm not trying to show it to anybody's but because whether the camera is in front of me or not, that's what I'll be wearing. So it's just not a function of me. So someone was like, what's this? Is showing off. What's the essence of this? And I'm like, well, this is me living my life, but this time around I've decided this life that I've been living even before I started putting a camera to my face. You
decided to document it.
So it's just still me doing that same thing, but now because you guys can see it on social media, you think I'm trying to. No, it's not about that. It's just me doing my thing. I'm not just going to show my personal stuff. I'm a human, so I don't think I'm halfway, when it comes to the wealthiest people. I'm a normal human being, right? So I do my daily hustle, daily struggle. I'm not putting that out there because it's personal to me. I don't want you to see it. I only want you to see the places where I'm having fun. That's why I'll put that. And you think like it is what it is, right? So it's not about any of those stuff. And those guys, it wasn't planned. And like I said, I have friends that have 5, 10 watches. When I say watches
like
the
watches.
Rolex is the least of, and they could only wear it on that trip because it's Portugal. So I don't want stories.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So it was not even a show off video. But yeah, at some point I just noticed that everybody wearing this, wearing that. There were some people, like I said, that wore that didn't even. So the video couldn't capture because it was a 2-deck yacht, and then there were some people on the lower deck at the point where I was shooting that. They were not even in that video. And there were a lot of people, because I didn't want the video to even be too long. I didn't want to have an extra part. So I cut, showed this. I didn't want to show the same type of watches multiple times too much. So I had some people that were wearing the Rolex Day-Date presidential bracelet, maybe like 5 of them, but I only showed maybe about 2 or 3 because so yeah, it has nothing to do about showing off. Or
I'm sure my producer has a Rolex somewhere, but
yeah,
he does have a Rolex. He's a wicked producer.
Yeah,
he's a wicked producer. Let's talk about music.
Okay,
because I know that you also manage to artist.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, you manage Dorothy and you manage
Bani.
Yes. Yeah. What does it take to be an artist manager? Before you answer that question, we now see that the the influx of the music that is being released on not on a daily basis in Nigeria, not on an hourly basis, I beg your pardon, on a minute basis
The per second base.
is outrageous.
Yeah.
It is outrageous. And that is why a lot of artists are being forced to stay relevant. Because if they don't, before you know what's going on, there's always, you can, every week there are thousands of songs coming out.
Yep.
What is good music? What would you hear? What would you hear from a Nigerian artist and you tell yourself, this is good music?
So let me speak directly to that. Good music, I think it's personal. It's relative. Everybody has their own style. They have their own. So I'm not going to say, oh, this is good music. This what resonates to me might not resonate to you, right? So, but for me, I have the things that I look out for.
Okay.
First, the artist has to be talented.
By talented, what you mean?
There has to be, the voice has to be there.
Okay.
The lyrics has to be there. The personality has to be there. So, but then most importantly, the voice, which is what makes the music, the lyrics, what the message the artist is trying to pass on.
But there's auto-tune, right?
Yeah, there's auto-tune, but aside, people who know music know.
Okay.
When an artist that is basically majorly auto-tuned and fine-tuned, did this, that, we know what's going on. But hey, do you, right? But if you are an artist who is solid, you would know. If you're musically inclined, you would know. Apart from the lyrics, because they're writers. Yeah. Apart from, so I think it's just a personal thing, and then maybe because I'm in the industry and I know some things already, so I might sound biased. If I listen to someone, I already know what you're trying to do. Even when you drop maybe the first music, I won't judge, and I don't judge. I don't judge artists. I don't, like, anybody can decide to do anything, right? So, or if I listen to the first song, okay, good. I'm still not convinced. I'll wait for you to follow up. Okay, good. I'm still not convinced. Like that before I eventually say, okay, this is a solid one. I know artists who started off not being their best, but over time they've proven to us that, don't worry, I got this. We're here to stay and we can see it. So good music, I would say mostly a personal thing. And then there are some things you can look out for to determine and say, oh yeah, that's a solid one right there.
As an artist manager, would you tilt towards the direction of fake your lifestyle till you actually attain that lifestyle?
Different things, different strokes for different folks, right? We've seen people come out with and then industries are different. Okay. But in this case, most of the things I would say would be tilted towards the Nigerian music industry because we're Nigerian. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk too much on the global scale. Yeah, so that's what it doesn't look out of scope, right? So in the Nigerian music industry, there are two major things, or there are two ways that have been proven that, okay, if you go by this route, you will most likely make it. If you come by this route, you wouldn't make it. And first will be that fake it till you make it part works. It has worked.
It has worked.
Yeah, it has worked. Yes, it has worked. It's probably still working. And then the grass to grace part 2 is a big one.
Which is longer?
I wouldn't say long. When I say grass to grace, maybe I'm not saying it well. Like that, I'm down here. This is who I am. Take me as I am. Yeah. But I have my music to offer. Even when they are not that low, in some cases, have come to present themselves as I'm this low because everybody likes to relate to, it's relatable. Nigerians relate to stories, right? True. So that hustle, I be all star, I don't sleep for the under bridge, I sleep for studio 10 years. I did this, I did buy a car for producer before I make them, people like those things. So some artists will come present themselves as humble and but they are not that down there, but they just want that to appeal to the audience and then get emotional, fan base and all of that. Say, I can't relate to this guy's story, which will kind of play out maybe even in the lyrics and all of that. So I think there's like two major ways. But of course, the fake it till you make it part two works. You see artists, and then at the end of the day, it's showbiz, right? It's show business.
Word.
You gotta come out and create that, paint that lifestyle. Even if you're not there yet, you gotta come out wearing all that costume, jewelry, and all of that. Just to think, okay, I'm depending on what message you're trying to pass across or what audience you're trying to target. So that's where where the role of a manager comes in. And so we have to dissect you, look at you as an artist, as an individual first, and then see how we're gonna look at your music, and then see how we're gonna plug you into the world, how we're gonna present you to the world because of what you're passing across. You're not gonna come, a bad guy artist, I bought with this, I'm doing this, I'm wearing this, and then we want to paint you that. Nah. Essentially, I'm not going to be singing sorrowful songs, and I remember when me and my mama park grass on that kidney, and then you just want to come off flaunting, rolling in a Bugatti and all of that. It has to match.
Yeah.
And then we've seen cases, and then in more recent times, we've seen the hustle stories or hustle backgrounds sell more.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of people now are on that level. You'll find out that artists, labels and all of that, or people that get signed, they're like, so person just picked me. I was doing covers on social media. I was just doing like that, and then they picked me up, and it's like that. Yeah. So
as an artist manager, what does it take to be an artist manager? Are you mostly fixated on their career, or you also sometimes tilt towards their personal lives, the type of women they roll with, the type of places they go to, the type of persons they mingle with? Walk us through that process of being an artist manager.
So first off, I'd rather myself, that is on my bio social media, it's talent manager.
Oh, talent manager, sorry.
Yeah. So because I don't only manage music artists, like you mentioned, Dorothy Batcher, she doesn't sing, but
sure.
She's an actress now. She came off from reality TV and all. She's a reality TV star and all that. And then in that space, in the Big Brother space, I'm well grounded in that space. Like I've worked with quite a number of them, right? From the first season up until, well, maybe not the most recent season, but but then, so, and then the music guys on the other end. So I would say it's all encompassing. You cannot say you're an artist manager and you're only focusing on this person. A talent manager and you're only focusing on this person's talent, because it's a total package. To make a successful celebrity, let me bring that word in, it's a total package. It's not only their music. We have found music artists or actors or whoever come out, great actors, great musicians, but they're not there in terms of being a celebrity. And that's because something is lacking. And in most cases, because I'm in that field, I'll put that on the team, on the management team. Because you cannot say, I'm focusing on your music. No, you have to be. I tell if I'm working with someone, I'm about to start working with someone, I tell you, going forward, I'm going to be your best friend, whether you like it or not. I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to be that uncle that you don't particularly like because it's probably trying to check you and saying, Mashele, don't do this, don't do that. But hey, that's how this relationship has to work. In some cases, I'm going to come off as being bossy. Yeah, that's how it's going to work. I don't care if you're paying me. I care, but at the same time,
come on,
I gotta do my job, so I have to put you in check. And then it now boils down to personality. As a talent, you have to be teachable, which is something that is very hard to find these days.
True.
Yeah, you have to be teachable. You have to be ready to. So at some point, it gets to the artist that, you guys are here because of my talent. I'm the one making this thing happen for everybody. Nah, it's not you. I'm not trying to downplay your talent or whatnot, but maybe you're like 50% at the most. Because every other thing and every other, it's what's this thing called now? that has different. It's like a lever system, it's a gear system. If the tiniest lever stops rotating, you're going to stop moving.
True.
The car is going to stop. So that's how it works. You feel you're the biggest wheel in that lever system, and you're the one turning every other person. But if that little guy right there stops spinning, then everybody comes to a halt.
True.
That's what it is. So I try to make them understand that it's a team effort. Yes, we're all here because we identified something in you and we see that we can make this work. But you can't do it alone. We've seen people who try to do it alone and then they're falling along the line. So, so it's not left to you. How do you want it? Are you here for the long haul or the short term? So that's just it. So you have to be in every aspect of their life, almost every aspect. Like, I can mention some artists. I'm sure Burna Boy's mom is everywhere in his life. Like, when
including the girls, then?
Sorry?
Including them girls, like the guys who are artists, like including them girls?
I mean, I don't have a personal relationship with their team.
Okay,
right? I know the team, met one or two members of the team based on the industry, but I can tell, because I can tell that they are, especially the mom who's the manager, she's like a big part of that team, and she's in everything. She's in every aspect of that team.
No, sorry, I was asking about the artists you manage. Like,
the artist I manage, of course, yes. Yes. That, sorry, I thought I had answered that.
No, not Burna, like
yes,
him.
Of course.
You're always in his space.
Yeah.
Wow. He doesn't feel some type of way?
Like I said, and then let me know to say that, but of course we've got into a stage where we can understand each other. Starting off, it might be a bit this bros just one day, because I'm older than him. Initially it came off as a case of this is like, but just one day.
Just one day, monitor me.
I said, Baba, I can't monitor you. It's not personal.
It's not negotiable.
It's not personal, and it's not because I just want to see if your baby is fine or if your but I have to know. And when I meet her, I have to, hello, how are you? What's your name? I have to make her feel comfortable with me so that I will know more.
True.
And be able to tell you, I'm on this one, let's just keep her at arm's length. And this one, don't worry, distance is good. And then for me, so I think being an artist manager, there are a lot of things you have to put together. You have to, your personal talents have to come in place. It's nothing to do about knowing the skills, knowing the business and all of that, right? Which anybody can read up on, but some personal skills. I'll tell you, for one, I believe that I know how to, I can read people. I can read aura. I can, if I meet someone, I can read. I can see deep down. I can see through you. I know what I know. You know that kind of thing. I'm not judging, but maybe along the line I might not come out wrong. But you have to. You must have proven me wrong.
Yeah.
But first, if I can tell, then I'll be able to advise and say, this one make we just day like this, or But of course, I know. Yeah, I know pretty much a lot of things about him. Because I keep telling them that if I don't know, if at the end of the day something comes out, I'm the one who's going to look bad. I will look stupid.
True.
In the first place.
Word.
Like you mentioned, I work with Dorothy Batcher, right? When we started off, being female, of course, if it's a guy, it's easier because guy can feel like I can tell you. But female, they don't want to tell you, like, the manager, book my events.
Yeah, stay in that space.
But, I'm doing all of that. But if anything comes out, I probably, if you go down, I go down. That's how it is.
100.
Right? Because, So I tell her then, it took a while, and then eventually we got really, really comfortable, and I can tell you I know pretty much everything. And then when she wants to do anything, she's quick to say, if I see me, I see this thing, and I ain't go first, and I say, me, I'll go, so call me now. So she's always like, I'm top of mind.
She's checking herself out every time.
Like, I don't go feel this if me are here now, I ain't go begin say one thing. It's that kind of relationship. And a lot of times too, before they are waiting, won't talk this time. So we have that kind of relationship that no, it's not like that. There are times that stories might come out, things, especially in their own space, right?
Yeah.
That's reality TV space. There's too much.
I know.
Bloggers are ready to
yes,
look and look for.
True.
We've had our own times too, like that, and I'll be like, nah, you messed up on this one. Why didn't you? Why? How am I? What happened? And I didn't. And I'm like, don't. Those were the initials, and I'm like, there's nothing like I didn't. Waiting concern me. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here, but I need to know because even if eventually, it might be after that incident or whatnot. But let me know so that if it comes out, and if you shut yourself out of it, and when those things happen, right? Because we're all human at the end of the day. It's not easy, the kind of scrutiny and criticism these people face out there on social media. So when things happen, there's some of them that might not be able to take so much of that heat, right? And then the first thing, the coping mechanism is boom, go under the radar, get out of that space, and you know, maybe almost getting into a depressed stage, and then so at that point, that's what I need you to do. I need you to be out of that space, but I'm the one who's now going to take charge and stand in the forefront and take the heat. Exactly. So I have to be informed. I have to be well informed. I need to know
so that you can brace yourself for impact. For impact. That's the word. Brace yourself for impact.
Exactly, because it's going to come, right? Yeah. But at least the least you can do for me is let me know how to position myself so that things will get out of this smoothly and nobody gets hurt. So which over time we've been able to build that kind of relationship and everything has been working smoothly.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. What is as we wrap up, I just want to ask what is next for 1805?
What is next for 1805? 1805 as a brand, like I said, we're working towards scaling. Okay. Like blowing up into a full-fledged fashion brand.
Just hats only?
No.
Oh, you want to go into other apparel? Okay, great.
So we're producing everything fashion.
Okay.
And that takes a lot of it has a huge financial commitment, time and all of that. We have everything in place, but maybe the financial part, like I said, trying to be as organic as possible and trying to get into that. So that, and then 1805 as a brand, the content creation part of it, I'm beginning to look into it and take it more seriously, because apart from these things, I have sorry, let me know. I'll just take a bit more of the time. 9 to 5 paid employment, right? Okay. So I currently work in paid employment. So that on the other side.
You'll be taking a lot of you'll be taking a lot of excuses at the office. No. You'll be taking a lot of offs at the office, bro.
Time off.
You'll be taking with the amount of time to travel. You'll be taking a lot of
it is what it is. I'm with paid employment, a very demanding one, if I must say.
Oh wow,
pretty much demanding ones in the financial space. So I do private equity investor services. So, it's pretty much demanding. You have big guys who want things and want it right now, So that has been kind of affecting the content, which is kind of obvious. I would say the way I churn out content. Like I might drop something this month and I'm not able to drop another one next month. Not because those contents are not there, but I've not had the time to put it together, sit down, edit, and voice it, which I think takes a bit of time. Putting my very low expertise in that field into consideration. So I'm an amateur when it comes to all those things. But I've been trying to learn new things and learn how these guys do it and make it look easy. So I intend focusing more on the content creation part and hopefully being able to monetize it. If that would pay for the tickets and the yachts and the drinks, I don't mind, because all of that for now is solely fully sponsored by me. But hey, if I'm making some money off the platform to foot some of those bills, why not? So I'm looking to be a bit more aggressive in that line now, and then eventually be able to drop out more content and just do my thing, right? Yeah, so that's about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I had so much fun. It's been a minute I went out of my shell, because I'm always the very much serious, uptight, personal, cool, calm, calculated kind of guy. But today, he took me just a little bit. I'm like, yes, let's have the lifestyle in the studio. Why don't we, resonate on all of those times he was present in the yacht and bring that memory into the studio and have it. So this is me thinking I was there with him, with the wristwatches and stuff.
The next one we'll probably make it happen soon.
Well, you understand. You guys should watch out.
I'll put you out there. Let them know that you're not always serious. Let them see you the whole shampoo. They bust shampoo like this. They just say,
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I had so much fun. Before I sign out, I want to appeal to you once again, please. If you've not subscribed as yet, I'm sure you had a blast of a time. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share. I'm begging, I'm pleading with you. Do that. That is how we get great feedbacks that we're doing amazing works, and we'll continue to bring you amazing personalities like 1805 and some other great personalities. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where I would have to draw the curtain on today's episode. The Call Me the Mic Master. It has been an amazing, it has been a wonderful, it has been a stupendous time hanging out with you. Join me, same place you're watching, next week. Until then, on behalf of we here in the studio, we're saying have a great week. Bye-bye.